let's look at our 10-week success recipe. The first thing that we're going to have in our 10-week success recipe is 10 blog posts. So these 10 blog posts will be published 1 blog post a week. That doesn't mean that you are going to write 1 blog post a week. It means that they will publish 1 blog post a week. I always like to do things ahead of time. Okay, the next thing that we're going to have is 20 social media posts. We will recycle our blog content into social media posts. We'll have 5 blog post emails and 1 offering. And then we're going to support our offering with a landing page, the call to action, an offering email, and a thank you page. And a lot of this information here is going to feel pretty repetitive, but that's okay. The first thing that we need to ask ourselves is, what does our persona need or want to know? So the things that my buyer persona wants to know is, how do I actually get leads for my website? How do I use the internet to market my business? And why would I blog? I mean, what's in it for me anyway? You know, everybody says I'm going to start blogging and they just think it's like this magical thing, but what is it? Why would I do it? These are all things that I can answer in blog posts. 10 of them. When people read your blog post, what you want them to feel like is, finally, someone is answering my questions. They have been looking for this answer forever, and now you gave it to them. This is awesome. This is what they've been looking for. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a date. And I know that sounds strange, but we got to pick a day that we're going to start this. So let's set a goal. When is that first blog post going to publish? Go ahead and write a date next to the blog post. This is when your blog post will go live on your website. So it needs to be written and edited and made wonderful by this day. The next thing I want you to do is actually skip the title line and move to description. So looking back at that buyer persona page and those questions and challenges and how you help them, what are you going to write this blog post about? And write a description of what the blog post is going to be. So for me, I'm going to explain how sales decisions are made 57% later in the buying process, and how people are getting their information from somewhere online. And I'm going to ask them, do they want it to be from them or their competition? And I might include like a pros and cons of why it would be positive or negative to have them get that information from their competition or not. So now I'm going to have, like, based on this description, I have a title for my blog post. And believe it or not, this is what I do, and I do it in an Excel spreadsheet, and I make it for usually 3 months at a time. And I then, after I go through all of the different blog posts that I think that we need to write, answering questions and addressing concerns, then I go back through and I think, who can help me write this content? Because obviously, you know, I'm a little busy, and you guys are probably a little busy too, so you might want to designate this out to people. So I look for people within the organization, and I think, well, I'm going to write this about photography, and Sadie's a photographer, so I think she should probably write this post. And then I assign it to her. So even after you start by writing your titles and all your descriptions of your 10 blog posts, don't feel like you're the only one within your organization who would have to write them, unless you really truly are the only person within your organization who can write them.